All right, here we go. I pulled out the old GoPro, the really old GoPro. We're gonna see how it works though. So I guess I'm doing this video as a quick introduction. My name's Dale, otherwise known as Dale, and I don't know, I just felt inspired to do a YouTube channel kind of based around the things they don't teach you in school, right? Not political, not religious. I think we need to stay away from all of that this day and age. But I want to have some friends come on here, you know, talk about themselves, what they do, and talk about the things we're not taught in school, right? Real world stuff. I'm not very proficient with YouTube. We're gonna figure it out as we go. I know the channel is called @RuckAround. So basically, you can see I have a weight vest on. I wear some rucksacks. And if you want to be on the channel, you got to be able to go for a ruck. We'll get into more of that later and talk about it. But right now I have a 20-pound vest on. Simply just going for a walk. You know, burning some extra calories. I'm out here on the trail. I don't know if you can see it. Nice paved trail. And yeah, I'm gonna try to not edit the videos much. The only thing, I don't want a bunch of cursing on my channel. Not that I'm morally opposed to it, but you know, I just think it's for kids, and if you can't control your mouth, you know, how can you control your life and your business? You know, there's just no need for it. Step on a nail and it goes through your shoe and pokes you in the bottom of the foot. Yeah, drop an F-bomb, that's fine. But, you know, I use that kind of language in my former life more than I care to share about. I just don't have a need for it. So what do? I'm in the financial industry. I have a guest that wants to come on, a coworker, so we'll get into more of that later. I'm in the financial industry. I have a couple of part-time little gigs. I like to watch dogs. Dog sitting is awesome. My daughter's wanted a dog off and on, and we were renting and I didn't want to have a dog, so we took on a dog sitting gig, and we get to go play with the dogs, we get to know the dogs, and like grandkids, we get to give them back when we're done. Anyway, we just got a house. We just finally bought a house. So I told her when she turns 16, if we don't have a dog yet, she can get one for her birthday. So we'll see. Oh man, I think it's going to be much easier to make videos when I have someone here to chit chat. So I don't know how long this video is going to go for. I am going to try a different couple of lengths and positions with this camera, so you guys are going to have to bear with me. And then when I play it back, I'll see which one I like the best. Just so you know, I'm using a Hero 3. It's the first GoPro I bought. And it still works fine. It films in 4K. I don't have it to set to 4K right now, but it films in 4K. I used it skydiving for many years. Got made fun of hella times, but I don't care. Alright, so I just freaked out and paused the video because some other people are on the trail. And I know, like, I'm in public and I can film and I can get into that whole First Amendment argument, but like, I still have respect for people if they don't want to be on video. I'll try not to. I'm not going to make the argument that it's my right, even though it is, and I full-heartedly believe in that First Amendment right. I also believe in respecting people's wishes. That doesn't mean I'm going to cut everybody out just if they're in the background or whatever, but I'm not going to intentionally engage with people. And if they don't want to be on camera, I will respect that. Unless they're trying to beat me up or something, then I'll video it for evidence, you know, whatever. Anyway, I don't know how this angle looks or not. I have no idea how this video is going to turn out, but that's what I'm about. I'm just an average, normal person that wants to start a YouTube channel for me and my friends. I'm certainly not a fitness influencer or an influencer, just an average dude. I feel like talking about what you do and getting it out there is important, especially if you're new. You're new in business, or you're starting something, or you're on some kind of a journey. I feel like talking about it is the way to go. Alright, I did it again. I'm such a baby. There was a guy with a dog, and I didn't want to look like I was talking to myself when I'm clearly holding a selfie stick with a GoPro. This is going to be fun. Anyway, so what I was saying is, if you're starting some kind of a new chapter in your life, a new journey, whether it's spiritual, physical, or mental, you know, talking about it and talking about what you've learned as you go makes it real, right? And when you teach others what you've learned, you retain it, in my opinion. I've got some pretty good ideas for episodes that I want to do. I don't want to script anything. I might write some ideas down for ideas for the show, but I want to keep the dialogue unscripted. Alright, so I put the selfie stick all the way out and fully extended, just trying different angles. I'm on a nice stretch of this trail where I can see if anybody's coming or not. I don't know why I feel so weird about having this camera out here. Anyway, as I video people riding by on a bike. I guess I've been watching too many First Amendment auditor videos to see the confrontations, and that's what I'm going to try to avoid at all costs, because that's not what I'm about. So yeah, some of the rules: no cursing. If something slips out, we might have a talk about it. I'm gonna try not to edit anything out. If someone goes into a rage, you probably won't see it unless it's really funny. You've got to be able to do at least an hour ruck wearing at least 20 pounds, men 30 pounds. I know today, just for this video, I have a 20-pound vest on. We might adjust the weights. I guess it depends on the person. If they've never done it before, maybe I'll let them get away with 15. I don't know, we'll see. These are just ideas I'm throwing out. You got to be able to do a ruck though. That's what we're gonna do. Whether it's a vest, a plate carrier, a rucksack, whatever I mean, if you want to carry a sandbag the whole time, I'm probably okay with that too. So a little bit about me, and then I'm probably gonna cut this video short. I'm a CrossFit coach, skydiver. I work in the finance industry. All right, I'm back on. I heard a guy running up behind me, and I didn't want to have him on my camera. Hopefully that sun is not killing this. Find out. Let me change it up a little bit. So like I said, a little bit about me. I'm a CrossFit coach. I'm a skydiver. I love jumping out of airplanes. I mean, Don't knock it till you try it. We'll have a whole episode about that, I'm sure. But I'm currently not skydiving because I'm raising my 14-year-old daughter, and I want to wait until she's an adult. But it's just a countdown until I go again. She wants to skydive too. My dad was a paratrooper. My grandfather was a pilot, skydiving pilot. I'd say it's in my blood. I like to get outdoors. I wish I was a fitness influencer, but I'm not. I'm just trying to stay healthy. I'll be 50 years old this year, and when I'm a grandparent one day, I want to be able to run around with my grandkids. I mean, that's the long and short of it. Don't drink, don't smoke, don't take performance enhancing drugs. And that's the short version. As we go, you'll get to know more. And yeah, let's see how this thing works out. Alright, so I'm just gonna mess around with the camera a little bit. I turned around, I'm going back the opposite way. I need to see how the sun affects this camera and the angles. Like, I don't really care, it's not about the looks, but I don't want everyone to be blinded either. This channel is going to be more about the content and what people have to say, and not what they look like on camera, if that makes sense. Well, I hope I explained myself a little bit. I want to try to keep it as real as possible. Try to have people on here that are as real as possible. I'm not trying to have people come on here and advertise their business. And that's not what this is all going to be about either. I am going to have friends on here that talk about what they do. And for me, I can't speak for them, but for me, it's to educate people on things you don't know about, things that you weren't taught. All right, I had a couple of mishaps with my phone I had to fix. I feel like I'm starting to scramble for things to say, and I just want to end this short introduction video with a couple of things. The biggest thing for me in this channel, like I said, is to teach people about things they weren't taught in school, or different aspects and perceptions of, business or concepts or whatever it is that they might not have thought about, right? Let's think outside the box. Let's continue to be our own self. You can't be anybody else because they're already taken. That's the biggest thing for me. Just be yourself, and find someone that has something that you want.
1 mile. Total time 22
Hold on, my phone's talking to me.
First pace 22 minutes 5 seconds per mile.
Find somebody that has something that you want and do what they did to get what they got, right? Because success is repetitiveness. Whatever it is that you're doing, you have to be consistent and constantly do that thing to become successful. There's very few cases of overnight successes. There's some one-hit wonders, and we all know what happens to one-hit wonders. That's exactly what they are, one-hit wonder. I don't want to be a one-hit wonder, right? I want to provide the best I can for my children, which I have two, by the way. Brenton's 21, he's out of the house, and my daughter is a minor, so I'm not going to mention her name, but I raised my daughter. I've had her for almost 4 years alone, so that's what I'm about. Making sure they have the best life possible and teaching them, not just saying because I said so, right? Give them the reasons, teach them And maybe they have a small percentage of a chance to be a little bit better than we are, right? Break some of those generational cycles that are bad and add some good generational cycles in there, right? That's all we got. We got our friends, our family, and we have the ability to teach our children to be better than we are. So with that, I am out. All right, so I shut the camera off a little ways back, finished up my ruck, and I was thinking about a few things. You know, I do believe in the freedom of speech. I don't believe in censoring. I believe everybody has the right to say what they want, but I don't always think that it's the right thing to do, if that makes any sense. That's why when I said rules, you know, I don't want a bunch of cursing on here. If somebody slips up, that's one thing, but I don't want a bunch of foul-mouthed people on here. I don't want to talk about controversial subjects. That's opinionated, right? I want to have a feel-good channel. I just don't want to get into all that. And we have the right to do that when it's our channel. So that being said, it's going to be fluid. Things are going to change. You know, I'm not a Nazi to the rules. I just wanted to clarify that. But yeah, I'm just gonna do the best I can and try to stick the best I can to the vibe that I want. And that's all I got, is to try. All right, I think that's all. Bye. Pieces.